I'm here in North Carolina, not far from where Alan Gratz wrote this book, The Body in the Water. Stanley had to keep moving. We had to get to Ford Island to see if our families were all right. But we couldn't. Not yet. Not until we knew if the body in the water was Brooks. Without a word, we both swam to the body. A Zero shot by overhead, and Stanley and I ducked as a bomb exploded next to the Raleigh, sloshing its deck with seawater. We swam on. Stanley and I got to the sailor at last and turned him over. When I saw who it was, when I saw his face, saw the bullet hole in his chest, I shook my head and backed away. I sobbed once and put a hand to my mouth, trying not to be sick. The body in the water was Brooks Leonard. Brooks Leonard was dead. It didn't make sense. When had it happened? Where had he been when he was shot? It was just minutes ago that I had seen him alive, held his hand as he pulled up the tilting deck, talked to him about Jenny. Jenny. Suddenly, all I could think of was my sister and the way she talked about Brooks, the way she looked at him when he wasn't looking, the way she held his arm in both of hers when they walked together. He was going to ask her to marry him. How could I tell Jenny that Brooks was dead? And worse, this is my fault, I said out loud. Stanley turned to me, looking as sick as I felt. What? He said. You didn't kill Brooks. The Japanese Air Force did. Right at that moment, the Japanese Air Force dropped another torpedo. It missed the ship it was aiming for and hit Ford Island, sending dirt and trees and sand flying. Another Japanese plane came streaking down the line of ships on Carrier Row, blasting them with machine gun fire. And Stanley and I ducked. We had to go, and we had to leave Brooks behind. There was nothing we could do for him now anyway. We have to swim to Ford underwater, I told Stanley. It's the safest way. I kicked higher and took a huge breath. Wait, said Stanley, but I was already diving deep, deep down. I turned to make sure Stanley was all right and saw him dunk underwater, cheeks puffed out from the breath he was holding. Behind him, Brooks' body turned on its side, its dead eyes staring at me accusingly. I turned and swam away as hard and as fast as I could.